Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jacob with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So, yesterday we had Juan on, and he was talking about the national election emergency that Trump is going to call. How about that? All right. So, all of these naysayers that talked about the election steal was a lie, they still do. Although I'd say probably 60 to 70% of people in the U.S. and probably even a higher number around the world know their election was stolen. So we're moving in the direction where he's going to call a national emergency, according to Juan, and that will make sense. Then we'll have fair votes. Miami just voted a Democrat mayor. Are you kidding me? So it's getting a little ridiculous out there, and I'm not liking it. This election, these election steals, Democrats nowhere, and I don't know. Maybe in maybe in Miami they have a lot of people coming from New York, and that's a problem with a Republican state. You get a lot of people that are infiltrating from they're running from Democrat hellholes and coming and creating hellholes within Republican good areas. Very frustrating. So we'll see how long that lasts. Like Juan and I said, we get fair elections. The Democrat Party goes away. There will be a Republican landslide like we have never ever seen before. So national emergency election going to be called national emergency election, something like that. It's going to be called by President Trump. So all of you whiners out there in the political parties out there, the rhinos and the Democrats aren't going to like that very much. So that's pretty much what he talked about yesterday. If you haven't seen that video, a lot of you have. Go check that out. It was one I did with Juan. It's on the YouTube channel. All right, very insightful. I think Juan was a little has been partaking of some alcoholic tasty beverages, and so he was very open. He was very open, and that's okay. We like it when he gets open and reveals. Of course, I get out of the way so he can reveal. There's a lot of things I like to say, but he has to build a narrative. Because imagine if I were to tell you that you don't have your freedoms anymore, and you're like, well, what do you mean? And I'd be like, that's all I got for you. Yeah, there's, I can't tell you anything more than that. You'd want a story behind that, right? You'd want a story behind that, and of course, I have someone that can share a story behind that, and that's the author of Death of Freedom, Michelle Melendez. Michelle,
Hey, aloha.
wow, what an amazing view! Good job, thank you.
I'm in Oahu right now helping a friend, and I just thought I'm going to sit outside and show you guys Diamond Head.
Diamond Head, I love that. I haven't seen that in a long time up close. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. My book, after I wrote The Great Maui Land Grab, The Death of Freedom, what happened to America? So many people don't understand. How did we get into this mess? How did we lose our freedoms? And that's what the book is about. I'll just share with you guys really quickly how it happened. It was in 1871 when the District of Columbia was created, and they took the Washington and Georgetown, and they stuck them together and created a 10 square mile radius and called it the District of Columbia. And basically what that means, or what that meant to the country, to the nation, was that this district was outside of the United States of America. And it actually was run under Congress. Congress literally, this is where Congress sits. This is the nation. They didn't want to put the capital of the nation in any sovereign state because they didn't want that particular state to have extra power over Congress. So they made this special area outside of the United States of America. And so what happened with this special area that Congress literally runs is it started creating agencies, the FBI, the CIA, the CDC, the educational department, all of it. And then those agencies, their power, their rules and regulations trickled in like fingers into all the sovereign states and took them over because of the rules and regulations of that of the District of Columbia. So that's how we lost our freedom. And I was talking to somebody who was like, how can we gain our freedom back? I said, we can gain it back if the sovereign states got rid of all of the federal government's programs and funding, and we created our own, this would be over. It would be done. And we'd go back to having our sovereignty back. But I don't know. The money's too important for these demons.
Yeah, that's true. But we're taking the money away from them, and they're not liking that. Of course, they're trying to push back, but there's nothing they can do about it. And of course, your excellent work, sharing, the Maui, how it was basically a direct injury weapon attack. And then we had the same thing. You brought us a lot of great information about that. Same thing in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And seems like that's stopped now. Do you think maybe we've gotten
No,
upper hand on that?
I think it's more, it's happening on a lesser scale. I live on the Big Island, so I'm on Oahu right now, but I actually live on the Big Island. And on the other side, we have the Hamakua Coast, which is beautiful. There's been 2 to 3 fires on the Hamakua Coast, 2 fires on Hilo, which is the second largest town on the Big Island. And
Right.
it's very interesting because you guys got to be looking at your general plans. And Hilo, which is again the second largest town on the Big Island and of Hawaii, it has no county plan. It has no regular county plan. All of the other towns on all the Big Island have their community plans except for Hilo. So we've been going to the county council meetings and talking about this Hawaii General Plan 2045, which wants to turn all important ag land into natural land, which is literally going to force farmers to be having more restrictions on them. Maybe their organic material isn't natural. Maybe the new building they want to create for their farm isn't under natural. So we've been fighting our county council and going to every single meeting. I met with the mayor. He gave me an hour, and I brought him a stack of documents because at first he called us all conspiracy theorists. And then I was like, hey, give me an hour of your time. And he did. And by the end of our meeting, he paused the Hawaii General Plan. But then
Wow.
so it worked, but we're still in the works. So I just want to tell everybody, you gotta go. This is the easiest way to see if your general plan violates the Constitution. You go to ChatGPT, and all you have to do is put in, does my county's plan, put in the name of your county, does my county's general plan violate the Constitution, violate any amendments?
That's
I was
simple, huh?
I was live with Ann Vanderstill, and
Yeah.
she did this on a live show, and numerous amendments came up that her general plan was violating.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. Wow. So yeah, you've been talking about this for a while. So now you got it down to a very simplified way to find out. I looked when I was in Madeira Beach. I looked at our plan, and it was pretty good.
Good.
Although there were some problems when we had our flooding that we started to, those of us that were there started to show that the city council and so forth was corrupt in a lot of different areas. So you have to be vigilant in a lot of different areas these days.
Yeah, that's why again, the death of freedom. It's what happened to America and how to save it. Because a lot of people goes, I'm all about actions. I'm like, what can we do? Okay, let's not complain unless there's something that we can actually do. And you guys, there's a lot of things we can do. Number one is, again, check out your general plan, go to your county council meetings, talk to your county council members, and share this information. I've created in the book, there's 3 citizen memorandums. One is about the chemtrails. You can actually use the citizen memorandum. I actually give you the link. You can download it, take it to your county clerk's office and submit it into your county record. Then you can start using that to talk to your legislators and say, hey, this is real deal with these chemtrails. Like, I went and spoke in Nevada. I could not believe the number of chemtrails I saw. It completely covered the sky. It was very disturbing. The second thing of citizen memorandum that's in the book is you can actually put a citizen memorandum about, and the COVID thing, I'll just say that I don't know what platform you're using, but you can actually, again, put it into your county record. You go to your county clerk's office. It's very easy to do. These are already done for you. They're in the addendums. So you click on the addendums. I don't know if you can pull it up there or not, but if you go to the addendums, you can print these out, you guys, then take them to your county clerk's office. Then you can use that information and documentation by talking to your legislators. So it really, that's our power, is citizen memorandums, affidavits of truth, and then what Cal Washington is doing, which is our notices of liability. We have power against this. We just have to use it, and we need numbers.
Very good, very good. And you have the CIA, FBI mind control programs. So they're trying to dumb us down so that we don't, understand any of this. And so I appreciate all the shows we've done together, because you have basically been disclosing this from our first show, and how they basically come in, they screw your mind. Good example is COVID. Everybody should be well informed by now what they did in COVID. It was the MK Ultra mind control program.
100%.
And they're doing widespread. You look at the Trump derangement syndrome, MK Ultra mind control program. So these programs are running constantly, and you have to learn how to see the truth, and the truth will set you free. And Michelle, you have done an incredible job of doing that. So absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and the thing is, people need to understand is this has been going on since the 40s. I mean, since after World War II. And the television and your smartphone, it actually has a frequency that literally hypnotizes you to stay alert, to stay awake, to keep scrolling. I remember one time I was scrolling. Okay, I get really good sleep. I go to sleep really easily, and I usually stay asleep all night. And all of a sudden, one night I was like, oh, I never do any of the short videos, never watch any of it. I was just like, bored, did it. I was up till 1 a.m, and I'm like, why? What is wrong with me? Why can't I turn this off and put it away and go to sleep? Wow. And then I was realized, oh my gosh, this is what mind control is. And so I stopped watching them. But it literally is an addiction, and it's by design, you guys. They know how to do this with your mind, with the frequency. Why in the world, 2009, why did the government, Congress, care about what if you had a digital television, or what was that about? Everybody had to go to digital. Is because of the frequency, the new frequency of that television. That's why. Because it was all mind control. That is the reason why everybody had to switch to digital.
Incredible. Wow. So yeah, more great reveals. I got the audio book. I was listening to it when I was working out. So it's great you have it in audio format that frees it up for a lot of other people too. So so Amazon, any other place the people can get your book?
Death of Freedom, deathoffreedom.com. It's a little cheaper than Amazon.
Okay.
And so just share it with your, share it out, because this actually helps people understand what happened. There's so many people that don't think anything is going on, but it actually explains how we got here. The founding fathers, it's all business related. It is all about commerce. In fact, the court system is based on what's called merchant law, law merchant. And this is an ancient law. It's Congress didn't create the system of our government, of our court systems. It actually is based on law merchant, and law merchant was based on the ships. So ships would go into different ports, and they needed one system if anything happened, and to that they could go into courts very quickly, solve the issue so that they could get back on their ship and leave. And so what happened was they actually turned this into the system, into what we have now, which is the court system. And here's another thing too. When you go into the courts, it's not under the Constitution unless you invoke the Constitution in the court system. And you can do that. And the way that you do that is you basically ask a question. You say, judge, you and the prosecuting attorney have both signed an oath to defend and support the Constitution. Is that correct? Once the judge says yes, which he's not going to want to do. In fact, Captain Matt, who's in the first book I did, Great Maui Land Grab, he wasn't wearing, he didn't have any plates, any state plates on his car. He was traveling, because you can travel under the Constitution. So he gets pulled over, goes to court. The court literally waits till everybody is out. He even said, because they knew him, they knew what he was going to do. So they even had to push, like, kind of shoo some people out of the courtroom. So he gets up there, and the judge starts talking, and then Matt goes, I have unalienable rights under God. And he looks up, and the judge left the room, walked out of the room when he said that, because once you literally say that you are a sovereign being, a living man or living woman with unalienable rights under God, you take yourself out of the jurisdiction of the law merchant, which is what is run in the courts. So the judge left the room and then came back and the judge was pleading for Matt. It was actually, you could hear the recording. I heard the recording, and they're arguing back and forth. And the judge is going, you're going to plead no guilty, or no, not guilty. You're going to plead not guilty, and we're going to have another court case. And Matt is trying to talk over the judge, saying, you cannot make a plea for me, which they can't. So anyway, long story short, they do another court case, and the police officer doesn't show up, and it gets dismissed. So They will not tell you the truth about the court system. But if you use this, it's going to shift things. It'll shift things out of their jurisdiction.
Yeah, we're taking the control away from them. So they've masterminded a control system, maritime law, pirate law, and if you learn that the constitutional law, is basically was written into the law of our land. And they've been stealing it from us for a long time. So we have basically these players that are in these positions of power. They're in positions of power because we've allowed them to be there.
That's right.
And once we start to understand, we don't have to allow them to have any authority over us, because they're in those positions a lot of times through coercion, through manipulation, and all other kind of means that are not lawful, then they're in a position that's not lawful, and so they have no jurisdiction over us. So beautiful job describing that in your work. Of course, we all love your work. You've been revealing unbelievable information in your books, and this is just a taste. So people, if you want more, the links are in the description box. Definitely go check them out. And anything else you'd like to add, Michelle?
Yeah, G. Edward Griffin wrote the foreword, and that was just such a blessing. I was at the Red Pill Expo with him twice last year, and asked him if he would do the foreword to my book, and he wrote that. And just to have a legend like that to support this work just really meant a lot. And of course, you wrote an endorsement. I just really appreciate that and your time for doing that. But again, I just want to say, you guys, we do have power. Sometimes it feels like, it's so overwhelming, and the corruption is so much, but each one of us is here for a reason. My background is a fitness trainer, and if I can find this information out and do this work, you guys, going to your county council meetings, can they be boring? Yes and no. My sister was actually laughing because we were sitting there in one of our county council meetings, and we had a group, like 30 to 40 of us, each one of us speaking with passion, talking about our general plan and what we don't want and what we're concerned about. And my sister looked at me and said, this is the funnest I've ever been at a county council meeting, because all of us were really passionate about holding our ground and standing for our freedom. So you guys, we're meant to do this. Find your community, start to grow your numbers in your community in a way that is what we call Pono, which is right, and Aloha, being kind, and do this work. This is what we're meant to do. If you think it's not coming for you, think again. It's coming for all of us.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, thanks a lot, Michelle. I know you're limited time, but we'll have to do a more thorough show in the future.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Jaco. Aloha, everyone.
Aloha. All right, so you guys see that there's information out there that can inform us and help us to break free from this manipulative control system. President Trump can only do so much. He can set the stage for a lot of this stuff, like when we have this election emergency, presidential election emergency proclamation that sounds like it's coming. That doesn't mean that we just kick back and election integrity is going to just land in our laps. That gives us the freedom to really push into these areas that have been super compromised. Colorado, New York, lots of different states have been extremely compromised on the election integrity. California, probably one of the most egregious of all of them. This will be the opportunity for those of you that have been, waiting for this type of opportunity, pushing as much as you could, making inroads, and this will create a super highway so you can go high speed into taking down this control system like we were just talking about. Right? It's not just judges; it's also the political manipulators that are out there. It's the educational system that's out there. So many different things they're going to get taken down and destroyed and never to return again. Ever. So that's what we're looking for. So you guys know that I have said some things in the past. Michelle was talking about how there is still a little bit of manipulation going on as far as like directed energy weapons creating fires and burning things. I think on a limited level that is very possibly, and obviously in her case as she's describing going on. So, but on a larger scale, it seems like it has been, suppressed for significantly. I talk about how I predict, weather and so forth, hurricanes. I've been doing that for well over a decade, close to a couple decades, with people, in smaller circles, but on a larger scale, definitely over the last 6 years, I've been on a massive level. So this last year, I talked about how there are ships, large ships, container ships, tankers that are used, and they're helping to create weather patterns out in the water, and that had been proven. So I talked about how wouldn't it be nice if special forces teams like my old team, SEAL Team 6, we did shipboarding. Of course, there's a lot of groups that are trained. You can have trained in shipboarding now. You can have Coast Guard. Coast Guard was trained by, and I remember when I was in Virginia Beach at SEAL Team 6, we had a group of trainers that went to the Coast Guard and started training the Coast Guard how to do shipboarding, caving ladders, and going up and how to move and so forth. So yes, there's a lot of different groups out there. Of course, the fleet. Naval fleet has components now that have shipboarding crews and so forth. They can launch rubber boats and go out and do shipboarding. So it is something that I said should have been done for the weather modification big ships that were out there. And lo and behold, we didn't have any hurricanes this year that impacted us. All right. Now, I said, I think maybe a couple days ago, because there's all these people are making comments, because I think they've taken down probably a couple dozen of these speedboat, that are out there, and I think 85 people have been killed, terrorists that are on these speedboats bringing drugs to America. Now, I've known for many decades that we have, there are ships out there, like cargo ships, like tankers and so forth, that their rear area, just like you see on ships that are landing craft ships, where their backs basically or their fronts open, and then they have well decks and boats can come in and out. There are tankers and container ships that can do this as well, guys. All right. It's not anything new technology, but it is something that's been hidden from the public for a long time. So a couple of days ago, I talked about that. How about that? So I talked about that, and guess what? One of the headlines is today that we should go board those because that's where the speedboats are going. They're going to these tankers and these vessels that have large, container ships and so forth that have well decks that are allowing these boats to come in. So today we have breaking news, that Trump confirms U.S. forces interception and seizure of sanctioned oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. How about that? So I think, I've known this for a while, that Trump and team have been paying attention to what I put out. So not that it hasn't been already going on, but because I reveal it or other people reveal it, not just me, but it comes into the public domain through one of us influencers, then it can go into the general public, like we're seeing right here. So you see that gentleman that looks like he's going up a ladder. It looks like I don't know if it's doesn't look like a caving ladder to me, but maybe it's a more stationary ladder. So a little bit easier to go up. The caving ladders are just a wire. It's wire on each side, and it's got a little piece of metal that goes in between. And on that metal, we would put what's that? That slip, non-slip stuff that we put on decks. I can't think of the name of it right now, but slips, non-slip stuff, right? So it's been a while. So we put that on the ladders, on the caving ladders, on where the little pieces of metal go, so your boots don't slip. And if you're wearing booties like I used to wear, because I'd be the first one up, they're slick, can be slick, even though they have a nice firm sole on them. They can still slip if the metal is just bare metal. So we put basically this non-skid, and I think that's what it's called. It's called non-skid paint. So it's got basically particles in it, and when you paint it, it dries, and it's textured so that you don't slip. So this looks like a ladder. Maybe this is the new thing. They don't have the caving ladders. Probably the SEAL Team 6 guys still have it, but these guys look like whoever they are, and they're not SEAL Team 6. Otherwise, you would not see their faces. But they have some type of ladder that's more firm, easier to climb. As you guys can see, they just stick it up there, and it's probably got a metal hook at the top, which basically can go over the railing, whatever, and hook. And then the first guy goes up, and he'll like do a carabiner, so the next guys come up, they're safe, right? So that's what I would do. I would be the lead climber. That's why they call it lead climber. So you're first one up. You could be the first one shot too. So you had to come up with the, after being smashed in the boat for hours, in heavy seas, and then you like climb up this ladder with the boat up and down, and then you get to the top, and you like have to break out your pistol just before you come over the top, and nope, there's nobody there to shoot. Put it, and then get up, and then make it safe, and signal down to everybody to come up, and then everybody comes up, and then you take down the ship. So that's what. And by when I say take down a ship, you head for the bridge. Now, this can be multiple things that happen at once. So we would have snipers that would come in, little birds that would cover us, and then we would have C-60, or not C-60, but MH-60s, Blackhawks that would come in, and guys would fast rope from the Blackhawks on either side, and then they go up and take down the bridge, and then we start deck by deck, taking over the ship. Right. So this is probably what's going on out there now. So you had the speedboats that were going, so they weren't letting on that they knew where they were going, right? But they knew, of course they knew. So they're hitting these boats before they would get to these container ships. And once you get on those container ships, you can't hit them with those directed energy weapons or missile systems anymore. Yes, I said directed energy weapons. And so now it's a bigger reveal, guys. So we're in a bigger reveal for the public. And yes, we all work together, and we start to reveal these things, and we make it easier for everybody to understand. All right. So there's things that I look at, and I'm like, I can't reveal that yet. So I'm not going to just start blowing stuff up, with my talk. So you guys that are watching me, you know that. So you're safe. Your secrets are safe with me still. So, but this I felt was one of those, because people were asking, WTF, what the frig are we hitting these speedboats? They're definitely not going all the way to mainland United States. And I let it ride. No one say anything for a long time, for weeks. And I'm like, I think it's okay to say this now, because there's so much momentum behind finding out why we're doing what we're doing, and so I said it. I said it, and now it's out in the news. It's crazy how that works, right? There's a lot more things I could be saying, but they'll have to wait for the perfect time. All right. So not only am I well informed, from decades of working within that environment and working with systems that were extremely advanced and are still so advanced that you're not going to see them probably for, I don't know, maybe a couple of years until some of those secrets start to be revealed that everybody can benefit from. But it's also from my remote viewing. All right. So I see things, and if I see or hear someone else say something that I have remote view that I know is like, it's kind of sketch. It's on the cusp of, maybe I shouldn't be revealing this yet, but if I hear someone within administration say something along those lines, and I'm like, bam, here we go. I'm putting it out there. So it is a very we all have these abilities. I've talked about this for this is before I became an influencer. I was a teacher of remote viewing and remote influencing, and intuition. So I use these skills. That's how I became so popular. I use these skills basically to look and see where things are going and who's doing what. Of course, YouTube did not like that I was very, very informed, so it took me down. So freedom of speech is back for a certain extent. Now, I saw just recently where some people within administration have been saying that free speech is back, but I can tell you that it's back, but not in everything. In healthcare, all right, there are still things that can get you in trouble. But I've been saying a lot of stuff that I said 5-6 years ago that got me taken down. But I'm just full on a lot of this stuff. I have Juan come on. Juan just goes off. I think he likes to come on and build the narrative, like I was talking about before Michelle came on. So Michelle, kind of came in just the perfect time to let you guys know you have to have a story behind, like for instance, we were talking about the freedoms, right? So freedoms have been taken away from us. We can get those back, and we are getting them back. And one of the ways we're going to get them back, we don't have them all yet, but one of the ways we're going to get them back is to have a national election emergency, so that a lot of the people that have been manipulating and controlling us, controlling our consciousness, just like I mentioned with Trump derangement syndrome. When I had Kathy O'Brien on, I wish she had mentioned that while we were having the show, but after the show, we talked a little bit, and she's like, yeah, this Trump derangement syndrome, that's part of the MK Ultra program. I was like, yeah, okay. That totally makes sense now. Yeah. So, and then Juan yesterday said, you know how they keep doing this Russia thing, and they tried to blame Trump for the Russia collusion and all that kind of stuff, which is all false. That's how they killed JFK, because JFK was behind the scenes having communication with his other in Russia, so that we didn't go to war with them. I think that's pretty cool, right? But the deep state didn't like that. They wanted to be completely in charge, so they convicted him in their court, like we're talking about, the court system, the pirate court, the maritime law court, and it goes into, they have the same system among themselves. They're so corrupt, and so within their own system, they're deciding who's guilty and who's going to pay. So they decided, because Kennedy was talking to Russia and making sure that we didn't get into a nuclear war with them, because as we saw with the Bay of Pigs, that didn't work out so good. Yeah, they double crossed him, and they were like, yeah, we got planes, and then we're like, well, we don't have planes now. And he said, well, you said you had planes, you had this all under control. I'm not going to send U.S. jets into there and have the potential of U.S. servicemen being killed. You said you had this thing under control, so no, they didn't like that, right? So the Russia thing. So he's like, well, you guys are some dirty players. I'm going to just work around your dumbasses, which is what I've done my whole career. So, which is what I'm doing now, right? I'm working around the deep state, and I'm revealing stuff they don't want revealed. So that's pretty much where I'm at. That's what they did with Kennedy, saying, oh, you dirty. They said, you're a dirty rat because you're talking to Russia, and we wanted to have a nuclear war, and you stopped that. So you got to go. And now we have NATO trying to start another nuclear war with Russia. So Ukraine, through Trump, was going to have peace if they had gone with Trump's plan. And Russia was like, if we do this, then yeah, we can have peace. But Ukraine, or Zelensky, is running back over to the NATO, demon rats, demonic assholes, not Democrats, but demon rats. So Democrats, demon rats, same thing. So, so there's demons everywhere. Demons here, demons there, demons everywhere, right? So, yeah, Luciferian. They're Luciferian, yeah. So, I mean, let's just call it what it is. So these people basically are, yeah, we'll give you money. Screw Trump. He's a Russia collusion guy, so we can continue to knock him down because there's Russia involved, just like there was with Kennedy. So they're like, Russia, yeah. So that's how they attacked Trump for all those years. It's the same thing. That's what Juan revealed last night when I talked to him. And I was like, oh my God, of course. That's why they did the Russia collusion thing. Because when they do that, then they can really come after Trump in their little twisted mind, little, back door, whatever, back deal rooms. This is cigar smoke and whatever. Probably don't smoke cigars anymore. They smoke each other, but so because that's what they like to do. All right, we know that they like to do that to each other, and yeah. So I have to throw this stuff out there sometimes. You'll see me making jokes, just like Juan does, because the AI monsters that are out there don't understand humor, right? So I throw this humor and stuff out there like that sometimes, and that throws everything, and they don't like that, and that gets them into such a tizzy they don't make really good decisions after that. So, yeah, I like to throw that stuff out there, and you guys should be doing the same thing. So anyway, they're smoking each other behind the scenes, and they're making decisions while they're smoking each other. And that brings us to the point where we have these really bad decisions for humanity, right? And then those people that are trying to help humanity, like Trump and like Putin, because you look at Russia. Russia is a beautiful Christian nation, family oriented, and so forth. But these clowns that smoke each other don't like that. and do sex changes and all that kind of stuff. They don't like that. All right. They don't like for somebody else to be in control. They want to be in complete control. And so Trump is coming up with, he's going to like give them peace, and they don't want peace. They want war because they just love for people to die. They like to do vaccinations so people die. They like to keep people inside. And so you don't have access to medical care anymore because the hospitals are just working for COVID. And if you got cancer, you're supposed to have cancer treatments, or if you're supposed to have heart treatments and so forth. Yeah, you can't come in because we got COVID going on. And so people died. So they just love that. They just love for people to die, don't they? And so we're a little bit sick of that. A little bit sick of that, right? So we're going to flip that script on them. And so somebody else is going to die, and that's not going to be us. All right, so that's what's going to happen when they eat the laughs. That's right, David. They eat them, right? They eat each other, and they eat the laughs. I mean, literally. Watch. Oh my God! If you guys have not seen any Cathy O'Brien shows, break down your barriers and go watch her that last show I did with her. Talks about how she basically had been mind controlled, mind compartmentalized, and the main thing that they use. So this all came to me. After doing all these shows with her and reading her books and everything. It's like it just boom came to me that they mind control not just at Cathy O'Brien. They still do that to hundreds, maybe thousands of children, guys. They do the MK Ultra. She said she went to NASA programs, military programs, DARPA programs that basically did mind control on her. She was Project Monarch. All right, so they compartmentalize their minds, and they can do that as young children. And they come in, they take these young children, and they basically defile them, all right, lots of different ways, all right, and subject them to all kinds of horrors. And so she's like, this was my, that's beautiful. 111. Thank you. That's the most, Mary, I've ever gotten. Thanks. Appreciate that. And that's a beautiful number. That's an angelic number. So we are basically moving into a direction where we're exposing all this, but we have to understand it's not pretty. It's not a pretty system that they've been using against children within their own families. You look at Bush Jr., he was obviously, that boy was mind controlled, right? He was messed up. He was bad. And then you have a lot of other, families, Rothschild families, Clinton families, you name it. These families are messed up. They file their children so that they can use their children in these programs. And they'll eventually, if they're really mind controlled really well, they'll move to the top. So Cathy's talking about how her mind's fractured. And I was like, I've heard from so many other people that are coming forward, and Cathy was one of the first ones. So revealing, and then more reveals come out, just like they're revealing that they haven't actually shown the ship with the open. I think that will come next. Where they're going to show some of these ships that have open bows or open sterns where boats can go in. I think that's going to come. Now. So when someone reveals and other people start to reveal more, they're like, okay, green light. He's not dead. They didn't take him down. Okay, I'm going to reveal. It's kind of the way I've been. And so Cathy O'Brien very early on was revealing on this stuff. So I was like, they fractured your mind and compartmentalized it so that you could be a transporter of information. And she said that was the main reason they fractured their minds and subjected them to abuse, where they're raped. They're friggin' raped as children all the way up until they turn 30, and then they take them out. And she described why they take them out at 30, because your brain starts to awaken They know it's going to start to awaken. So they make a sacrifice out of you. They burn you alive at the, what's that event in Northern California where, Alex Jones went out there. God, what's the name of that place? Somebody throw it in the chat. So the name that Meadows, it's where they have the big trees, right? The redwoods, Bohemian Grove. Thank you, David. So Bohemian Grove, she said that she was in line when she turned 30 to be burned alive in front of everybody. And I was like, well, of course they would do that, because that's going to show all of those people that go to that. President Reagan used to go to that. Hello. So they're going to show them that they're going to protect you, because she worked with she had sex with President Reagan, and she would bring him information and pass information to him. All right. All of those, a lot of those people are, that's part of what they have to go through to get to those levels, guys. I don't know, maybe Reagan was, as a child, was molested too. Who knows, guys? So don't, be the judge, right? Just be observer. So they pass information, because what's the best way to pass information? There's a place in Florida called the Villages, and in this place, everyone they ride around in their golf carts, and they're well informed. They're former retired military, a lot of them, and some of them have lawyers. You name everything. So they don't call each other up. They get on the little golf cart and they go and they get together and they have coffee or whatever, crumpets, and they talk. All right, that is the best way to pass information, because no one is listening in. So with Kathy bringing them information, she doesn't know what she's bringing them. She's bringing code words. So they compartmentalize her mind. Okay, here's a code word. When they say this, then it activates you to say this, and that's going to inform them. All right, she doesn't know that, and then when she gets back, they scrub that out of her brain. Right, but like I said, as they get older, at the 30-year mark, people awaken. I mean, a lot of you are older than 30 that are in this group, right? And you have awakened. A lot of people awakened during COVID because you had time to look, right? Up until that point, you're just like, go, 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 go. And you're like, oh, what's that on the news? Oh, and you just got mind controlled and you don't even know it, right? So a lot of us have woken up to this. So that's what Kathy went through, and she's disclosing that. She's talking about how we can break free from that in her books. Michelle Melendez talking how we can break free from this in her books. My shows telling you how to break free from this. Get informed. Start to understand this stuff. Start to see through all the bullshit shit, right? Because there's a lot of it out there, and that's what Juan said. He said, he has a Magador thing with Trump, and he says Trump is not going to focus on the bullshit anymore. He's going to release the Krakens. He didn't say that, but that's my words. And he's going to start the the emergency election fraud system is going to go into effect. So, oh my God, it's going to be so good. But again, it's not done when he does that. It's like that's when we really get the free reign to really get involved, guys. So he's creating an environment where we can take back our country and get more involved, kind of like Michelle was talking about, where you get involved with what is your city council doing? What kind of laws have they passed that are unconstitutional that you need to be aware of so that you can push back on? And you can get groups of people that go into the city council and say, you guys are doing unconstitutional stuff here. You're going to have to reverse that. All right. So, or we're going to vote you out of here, and we're going to make this extremely public, and with your names, and your lives are going to be ruined, and so forth. No. So that's what's going to happen. Tactical Civics. That's really good, Arlene. Thank you for bringing that up. Tacticalcivics.com. There's lots of different ways. You should be paying taxes, federal taxes. All right. So there's lots of ways that you can stop that. Many of you have, many of us have. And if you get informed, just like you saw Michelle describing, if you have the right verbiage, it all stops. Now, Trump has said that we're probably going to be able to do away with the federal tax. No more federal tax because we were making so much money with taxing all of these countries. So today, the Federal Reserve manipulator came out and said that President Trump's taxation, where he's taxing other countries and so forth, is causing inflation. Bullshit. All right. So let's look at that. All right. So right now, today, as we're speaking, the real money that we're going to be moving to very shortly, silver, is going up and away in my beautiful balloon. So there it is. Look at that. Silver is at 62, almost $63 an ounce right now. Gold is starting to creep back up on its all-time high, which is at 44. So it's at 42, 43. So up $11 is creeping up. Platinum doing really well too. And then the miners, as you guys can see here, SIL and SIL Silver juniors. So the majors and the juniors both are doing well. Majors are up 1.64 and juniors are up 1.3. Usually juniors really rocket fast. I don't know why they're not right now, but anyway, keep an eye on that. All right. So Santa Claus rally. I know a lot of you guys are probably still invested in the stock market. You're going to get your Santa Claus rally because what happened today? What have they been waiting on? They've been waiting for the Federal Reserve to come out and say they're going to cut rates. Now, they were pushing for a long time. So Dr. Kirk Kelly and I both agreed that they were the last, we said for the next couple Federal Reserve meetings, for the next three, I think it was actually. I think they've done it 3 times now. How many times have they? We said that they're going to cut rates all the way up into December. And then they were coming out saying, no, they're not going to cut rates because inflation is high. It's bullshit, guys, because what makes inflation go higher? The price of energy. What has President Trump done since he's been in office? He's dropped the price of energy. So all prices are dropping, right? So the Fed coming in and saying, no, it's because Trump is taxing the world. It's not working out so good. It's causing inflation. Lies, and damn lies. All right. Federal Reserve will soon be going away. And then we go to silver and gold. Silver and gold. Silver. Let's watch the cartoon movie. What is it? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So you have Burl Ives in there singing silver and gold. So that's what we're going back to, silver and gold, right? So right now, silver is above $63. Woohoo! So it's up $2 right now. All right, so tomorrow, the next day, probably it could continue to go up, and towards into the end of the year, it's probably going to be close to $75, guys. All right. So I know, again, there's lies, and more lies and damn lies that have been spread that silver is going to, look at that number of viewers, 1771. Oh, that's pretty cool. Can we get a 1776 there? All right. So come on, I'm watching. Come on, 5 more. Let's go. Get it. Come on, hit it. It's probably going to go to like 3,000 or something, which is cool. No, it went down. Oh, well, there's a lot more watching, I'm sure. But anyway, silver and gold, silver and Bitcoin's down, but I think probably Bitcoin's going to explode. Look at the Dow Jones went up 1% today, almost 500. It was up almost 600, pull back a little bit. NASDAQ was up. Santa Claus rally, right? So you're going to see this puppy go because they were just waiting for the Fed to come in and make the decision on the rate cut. And now it's Santa Claus rally time, right? So manipulation central, right? It keeps going, keeps getting manipulated up. It's the last thing because the Fed was talking today about how housing is not so good, right? Which your boy said was going to be going down. I've been saying it for a couple of years, and yeah, over the last year and a half, 2 years, it's been going down for a lot of areas, and it's going to continue to fall very significantly. Now, I think that the Federal Reserve is going to be replaced. The head of the Federal Reserve will be replaced, and we will see potentially a rate cut all the way into the midterms, so that the economy keeps cranking. Right? So I don't know, but I think it's a possibility. The economy could like crank downward real hard, but I don't know if they keep pumping the money out there. That's what makes that greases the skids and keeps everything going up. We could potentially, if we see a rate cut, so we're at 3.5, I think, right now, something like that. So that'll bring it down to like maybe about 2, which would be fair, right? Should be 0, but it'll bring it down to about 2, all right? And that will make a lot of things easier to buy. I don't know. I think if we get that, as you guys can see, January, March, May, June, July, quarter point each one of those. Then we get a little pause in August, in September, and October. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that makes it if it's quarter point every time, that's 1.5 points total. That's easy because we're at 3.5. Easy. And the guy that Trump looks like he's going to get into the Federal Reserve position is a guy that's probably going to lower those rates, guys, every time. All right. So interesting times we have. It'll be interesting if that's what happens. So maybe there'll be just a very slow and deliberate squeeze of the financial institutions, and they'll be ejected out, held up on charges, and all of them will go to jail forever, maybe executed. New polling puts President Trump in landslide lead when it comes to the economy, defying Democrats' biggest midterm narrative. That's another indicator for me that this gravy train is going to continue, guys. All right. So if we're going to continue to see the stock market reach even greater heights, which it needs to go to like ridiculous. I guess it hasn't gone to ridiculous level yet. In 1929 and 2008-ish, whatever, it went in the dot-com bust. It went to ridiculous levels. Right. We haven't seen ridiculous yet. So we can't have a really good crash unless we have ridiculous levels. Right. So I'm pushing for ridiculous. Right. So when we get ridiculous, we're going to see everything else go ridiculously high, like crypto, like silver and gold, and we'll see even stocks go up. They'll pull back, yeah, occasionally here and there, like they have been, but they're probably going to go like ridiculous, and ridiculous can get it. You can think there's no way it can get more ridiculous, and then it'll go more ridiculous, right? So don't think that it can't go super ridiculous. I think we need a super ridiculous, but you never know. It may not. So if given the binary choice of going back to the Biden Democrat policies of the last presidential term or going forward with Trump, the GOP appears to be in good shape. And there is a guy that I follow that prognosticates elections, and he's been a dead ringer for going back 3 cycles, or even before Trump came in. He's saying that the midterm is going to be a red wave. Now, we've heard this before, and we know that Democrats come in and sabotage the shit out of that. Right? So the only way that that's going to get turned around and be a red wave, even with the Democrat machine potentially manipulating things like it seems like they're doing. We just got a mayor in the big red state of Florida, in Miami, and we just had all those Democrats win up in the Northeast. So it appears to me that there's going to be manipulations unless we come in with unless President Trump comes in with the block. All right, so he throws the block, and then we run the like I was running back, so I love a good block, and I would run it in for touchdown because I was a mover. I ran very fast back in the day, right? And you could hit me, and I could keep going, and it take a lot of people hitting me, take me down. So it was fun. If I hadn't, I was like, should I go to college and become a professional running back, or should I go SEAL teams? SEAL teams. Right. So that's what I did. All right. I think it worked out pretty good. All right. So, but occasionally I think about those days, and I think about the manipulation that goes on in professional football these days and how games are thrown. And I'm like, yeah, I probably wouldn't have liked that. I like having a little bit more control over my life. All right. So, we all want control of our life, and if President Trump's team basically comes in and does a nice block so we can run in the football and score. And I don't really care, who it is, because Mike Lindell is probably going to be the governor of Minnesota, like Jesse Ventura. So Jesse Ventura came into Minnesota. So Minnesota doesn't like. So we go all the way back into the farmers back in the early 1800s. They didn't like bullshit in Minnesota. All right. So the farmers had a very good say back in the day. Jesse Ventura was not on any political party, really. He was on the anti-party party, and so he won. And so Mike Lindell looks like he's going to come in and do the same thing. So he's like been exposing corruption like crazy, and I think Minnesotans are ready to get rid of the craziness that's been going on in their state with the what is it? Is that Ilhan Omar's in Minnesota? She's in Minnesota, or is that another state? I got to get this down. So I always wonder this. Somebody know? So, Minnesota. So Minnesota, I think if they get Mike Lindell, which I think is a good chance, because they are basically they push back against the system when the system is bad. It could be Omar she's in Minnesota. All right, so there you go. Minnesotans are fed up with this bullshit. Billions of their dollars basically went to organizations that were supposed to be benefiting children and elderly, didn't go to them, and was supposed to be going to autistic people. If you haven't seen that autistic show that I did just recently with a doctor, basically that talks about how you can change your diet and autism goes away. Wow, you need to watch that. All right, Minnesota, yes, Minnesota. Is that right? Minnesota. Is that like Indian? Is that Indian name, right? Minnesota. But I don't think the Indians say it like that. You go up there. I've been through that area, and there's all kind of Indian names. Pretty cool. So yeah, I think Ilhan Omar and the Somali mafia have really pissed some people off, and I think they're ready to push back. Turbin, Texas. Yep, you guys marry? Absolutely. You got some problems down there, and Tejas as well. So I think in Tejas that can get cleaned up real quick with the right governor. Right. So you might be looking at a new governor in Tejas, and if you get the right governor, then you'll clean that Texas place up real quick. The Jihad Squad gotta go. All the Jihad squads. Even in Florida, in not St. Petersburg, but in what's other? So anyway, in Florida, they're going to have like a big Muslim rally for 3 days, right, coming up, and they're going to have all these speakers and so forth. Not Miami, nope. God, it's just there. Can't even think of it. My mind, it's gone. Bye bye mind. No, I can't remember everything. So Tampa. So Tampa. So give me time. I'll figure it out. So Tampa. Yes, thank you, Michelle. All right. So I must have got your thought. You must have thought it, and I go, oh, thank you. All right. So Tampa, they're going to have a Muslim rally, and they're going to have tens of thousands of Muslims going to show up in Tampa, and they're going to demand for Sharia law in Florida. I don't know, but I'd be very, very cautious there, guys, and maybe a pushback, maybe a counter to their whatever they're doing. All right. If you don't get involved, then you're basically acquiescing to whatever they do. Right. Miami will be a port and headquarters for what is that? What are you saying there? Saudis, Latin America. Right, Saudi Latin America. Yeah. Tampa is very liberal too. Yes, very, very liberal. Unfortunately. So yeah, a lot of these big states, or big cities, are almost all of them are Democrat run, liberal guys. Almost every throughout the United States. I remember looking it up one time, and it was like just almost all of them. All the big cities had Democrats that were running them, the mayors. Let's see, liberals and big. That's kind of vague. Liberal mayors. How about that? Liberal mayors. You can do it at home too. Liberal mayors in big cities and big U.S. cities. Many large U.S. cities are led by Democratic, often considered liberal mayors. Many. That's AI overview. So, of course, Eric Adams, New York City, Brandon Johnson, Chicago, Karen Bass, Los Angeles, and Juan said that Karen Bass was not elected. Michelle Wu in Boston, Brandon Scott in Baltimore. They push back on federal actions, say that they push the Trump derangement, MK Ultra mind control system. So that's good. We should start calling it that, guys, because that's what it is. It's a MK Ultra mind control system, the Trump derangement system. So now that we put a face on the problem, we can start to understand a lot better. All right, so let me go. A list of 50. All right, so here we go. I got it. I got it for you. All right. I got the research. I got the power. Oh. All right. It's blue. It's bluer than blue. Look at all that blue. Oh my God. There's red. Eric Johnson and Dallas. That just happened. Because I know Dallas was blue. Good job. All right. Fort Worth. Oh, two Texans, and let's start to take it back, guys. You see, Oklahoma City, good. Of course, El Paso, Democrat. Look at all these: Portland, Democrat; Memphis, Boston, Las Vegas, Washington, San Francisco, Louisville, Charlotte, Columbus, Indianapolis, San Jose, Austin, Honolulu, Jacksonville, San Diego, San Antonio, Philadelphia, Phoenix. All the big cities. All the big cities are blue, guys. Oh, one independent. He's probably leans Democrat, though. And who knows? Some of these Republicans could be rhinos. Mesa, Arizona, Republican, good. Fresno, California. Yeah, that's Fresno has been one of the holdouts in California. And they want to break away from California. I remember talking about that, and that video that I did on YouTube got taken down. Virginia Beach, Republican. Awesome. That's where the SEAL teams are. So Suarez, Nomas there in Miami. So he's gone. He was basically Rhino. But yeah, 50 largest cities. They're pretty much all or Democrat guys. Like I said. All right, there you go. You're welcome. All right. You're welcome for informing you of the obvious. All right. Yes, we are a country that is not headed in the right direction. So we get fair elections like Trump's going to bring in. You're going to see that blue go red, and could be like a Mike Lindell, which is not probably going to be either party, right? Just like Jesse Ventura wasn't. Jesse, I agree with a lot of stuff Jesse puts out there, but Jesse's a wild card, right? So, because Jesse basically promoted the vaccination. Jesse, what happened? Everything else but that. Oh my God, dude. So Maddie, thank you. Super chat sticker. All right, like it. All right. Now, how can you guys help yourself and support me? Is join LifeWave, right? If you're not on LifeWave yet, you want to be. You should be. Everybody should be on LifeWave. It's fantastic, and not bullshitting. I don't bullshit, right? So I know a lot of you guys are on it. Everybody that's I'm going to be sending performance bundles to all the people that are in my that have wrenches. I get their. You guys work with Mike, and he's got your addresses, so we'll send those out and very soon. And thank you guys for helping support the channel. And we're going to give you LifeWave. If you're not already using it, you're going to use it, and you're going to be like, dang, I get on this shit. So I've been on it for 3 years. It's fantastic. It's a great way to earn income as well, if you like. All right. So have a great team. If you're unsure about LifeWave, go into the LifeWave link or into my website, michaelkjaco.com, or into LifeWave, Michael Jaco. And there is a info button you can hit, and I have a team that basically can help you out, help answer your questions, or help you sign up. Maybe sign up under doctors that are in my team or whatever you want. All right. So it is definitely a great system that help you in many different ways as me. So we're moving into a period where things are going to change very quickly. Especially if President Trump comes out. And that might be, I believe it is, the reason why he's been holding off on some of the things that we thought should have been taken care of. There's a long list of them, right? So once he activates that, I think that things are going to really take off. I think we'll see movement, people being freed that are behind bars, and all kind of crazy stuff. So it's going to be challenging for some because they're still not open-minded to this. They see something that's wrong, instead of like the 100 things that are going great. They see one thing that they think should be fixed, and they focus on that, and they scream and yell, and it's not very helpful. Right? I learned that the hard way very early on in my career as a Navy SEAL. It's like, Jaco, if you don't have a solution, don't bitch. It's like, yes, Master Chief. So then that's actually good advice. So good advice so that I could keep advancing, and also good advice that I didn't ruffle some feathers, and also good advice that I started looking at things and finding solutions that really were very helpful, actually, to my community. And that's what we're trying to get you guys to get to. Coming up with activities and actions where you're involved in your communities and making some headway in taking down the deep state. Okay, guys, lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, because that activates your pineal gland in your heart, and you have basically the mind heart connection, right? And then you connect with God, and God gives you answers, right? So just ask. They're out there. Stay in the love vibration, and that basically frees you from the control system, because the control system is a control system of fear, negativity, anger, and so forth. So being in the love vibration, you break free from the controllers, like I've been talking about in this whole show, and then it gives you insights, great insights. Gosh, my wife has been coming up with so many great insights. I was like, dang, what? Well, she's always done that, but she's really, really coming out with them now. So I think a lot of us are really getting activated, and so it's a great time to be alive. A lot of people that have been on my shows have been saying that the coming year is going to be very transformative. So it's very, very it's a beautiful time. All right. Good night, Patriots, and stay in love vibration. We'll see you guys next time.